his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Woo! Tea's ready. Good morning, Bakers. Got BBD with the tea joke.
That's good.
That's good. Sometimes Noodle squeaks when he yawns, and I'll make that joke. So shout out to my dog Noodle. Shout out to everyone. Good morning, Bakers. Happy one of the best sports weekends of the year. March Madness, the NCAA tournament is in full swing. It's still in full swing. We've got a full Monday slate today. That hasn't really hit me yet.
Yeah.
Today's going to be a great sports day for us. I mean, March Madness, they're doing a Sterling K game again for Yankeesville. BBD just broke his pen, I think.
I didn't just break it. I found the cap separate from the rest of the pen, and it's in a weird state. The end's in there. I don't know. The pinstripe's strong as yesterday. I don't know why my throat won't clear.
Oh, my God.
I'm a mess.
Okay. Good catching up with BBD. Got back pretty late last night from Savannah. It was good times down there. You guys probably saw a lot of the Savannah Banana highlights. Wild. Circus, WWE meets baseball. Harlem Globetrotters was another comparison. But it's like a good form of baseball. You know, Harlem Globetrotters, you know the Globetrotters are going to win. I don't know. It was a blast. We thank them for having us. Roosevelt sent us. And BBD, I think what we need to do is, it's March Madness. We love the storyline. It's the player. It's the coach. It's the lowest seed to advance. It's Cinderella season. And the game of the night is provided to us with this tournament's Cinderella so far. They will be the lowest seed advancing. We'll see if Abilene Christian joins them tonight. But the game of the night, Florida versus Oral Roberts. Took a lot for me to tweet out a joke saying we're going to have less oral than normal on this show. I know BBD's got a lot of Gummer jokes run through his head, but we're going to be bigger than that. Because BBD, 15-seeded Oral Roberts, after beating the Ohio State, goes on to play the Florida Gators, two of the best sports colleges in the country. And the Gators were kind of in control of this game. They were up 10. They were up 11 with 9 minutes to play after Noah Lock it up, made a layup. 67-56 with 9:46 to go. And then O'Banner, man, he is the guy that a lot of people are talking about today from Oral Roberts, the 6'8 forward. He hit a three to cut the 11-point lead down. He kept running. It's two guys. It's O'Banner and Abmas. And, you know, every year you look for the alley Farouk Manesh, or hell, Steph Curry when he did it. There's two guys on Oral Roberts, Max Abmas and Kevin O'Banner. They deserve the love. Coming down the stretch, O'Banner makes a jumper to give them a lead, 77-76. Locke comes back. He hits a jumper, 77-78. And then the big three, man, Deshang Weaver. Am I saying that right? Reach out, my Tulsa gang. I actually have a Tulsa game. What up? 80-78. And then we're going Slopville. Turnover, steal, turnover, miss jumper, turnover, steal. Defensive rebound, missed three-pointer. I mean, we didn't have a free throw fest down the end. O'Banner makes one to make it 81-78. Florida gets a couple looks at three, bouncing around. No more shots. Time is up. Oral Roberts wins 81-78. 15 seed going to the Sweet 16. Man, shout out to them. Everything you want when this happens. They beat two pretty legit schools. They kept doing the cut shot to the Oral Roberts gym, and the kids were just going nuts. And, man, they should. Like, even on Wake and Jake, I've kind of been tough on college sports, especially this year. I was wondering, like, am I falling out of love with it? Is it just the weird COVID year where we didn't know stuff was happening? Man, when you see that and you appreciate your school, I mean, I remember CCSU men's soccer went to the Elite Eight one year, and I was so stoked. It's like, yes, let's go. Like, I can't imagine. You go to Oral Roberts, the last thing you ever pictured was your team going to the Sweet 16. So, hey, their party will continue. I can bring up the bracket. Let's see who do they have coming up.
Probably should pull it.
They've got Arkansas. So that's going to be tough. 3-seed Arkansas, who got through Texas Tech, which was my team. They lost by 2 to them.
Yeah, that was a tough one for me.
That hurt. Everyone's bracket's a mess. Don't be the bracket person. Like, celebrate your one upset. Shake hands. And then keep it moving. So that was the game of the night. I think we just kind of got to circle back on the weekend. We're obviously not going to do every game. But we'll go with the regions. That's what we did last time. That's what we did on the biggest episode on the new Wake and Jake channel. If you're listening, subscribe, add.
We should get more NCAA tournaments where you got to fill out a bracket.
We should just do NCAA tournament every weekend. And then that would be easy to solve.
Then this channel will explode.
So we've got another round of games today. We said that, but let's see where we're landed in the brackets that have movement. Baylor and Villanova. My Winthrop upset. They were giving Nova a game. They ran away with it at the end. And then BBD, I thought this was going to be the complete mess region. And I was close. That's where Oral Roberts is, and they're playing Arkansas. Texas Tech, I thought they were going to get the lucky bounces and get through there. Could be Arkansas now, or maybe Oral Roberts keeps getting nutty on us. That Florida-Virginia Tech game was a good game early.
It was.
And North Texas beat Purdue, so that was another. We had a 13 seed and a 15 seed win in that region. I picked the 14 seed and the 12 seed. So that's my bad. That's my biscuit. I thought that region was going to get messy. I don't think you can technically label that the messiest region, though. I think that goes to the Midwest. The Midwest, Sister Jean and Loyola Chicago. I was here up in arms. Didn't like them on the 8 line. They get a little bit of luck. Georgia Tech's best player got ruled out of that game, so they beat them kind of handily. But then they beat up on Illinois, and you got to give them credit for that. And that was I was telling you guys I love storylines. And we kind of had an moment because Illinois.
That at least get to square up with a 1.
Loyola Chicago, I mean, that's college basketball. They manhandled them, 71-58. They kind of dominated the game.
That first round game is kind of the one I flipped when we talked in person. Or like, just
it made sense.
They're gonna have to face the 1 at least. And of course, I didn't have them beating the 1 next.
No, and then
nobody's perfect.
That got multiplied by Oregon State, the 12 seed. Again, this is where you flip a coin in the NCAA tournament. Was Oregon State going to be the team that was on fire and they just won the Pac-12 tournament? They were a 500, and that was the whole story. They stayed hot. They beat up on Tennessee, and then they beat up on BBD's Cade Cunningham in OK State.
That's the one that really messed up my bracket.
Right.
I went with my heart in the wrong spot.
Yeah. No.
Other than that, my bracket was in a pretty good spot going into that.
In BBD, I'll be honest with you, I was getting excited for Cade Cunningham because I'm coming around on him. I mean, I kind of like what he's about. Like, he's not give me the ball, let me go score. He wants to facilitate the offense. Everything he did at OK State ended up being really cool. Like, the fact he still went there and they weren't going to be NCAA tournament bound. And then they got tournament eligibility. And just the way he plays, like, he's been bought in for this from the start. Barkley gave a good/bad speech at one of the halftimes. It was a Barkley speech where he was like, he was talking about Zion and getting hurt, and he was like, these guys don't have to play. And it was like, well, he's like, these guys like playing basketball. And it's like, yes, but, if you were in their position and you're risking millions of dollars, I think his best
Depends how you want to take it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say everything is a one-off. Like when Zion had the blown out shoe incident and they said he shouldn't play again, and that's where we don't know the actual medical stuff, what's going on. Like if Zion's a healthy 18-year-old, then yeah, let him play basketball. If he's risking injuring himself more, then you do have to question other things. Cade's kind of the man. Plays a good brand of team basketball. He tried to take over a little more, but that Oregon State team is kind of awesome. Yeah, they were just like winning. Like it's not luck. It's not like, oh my God, there goes a shot. Like no, they were doing what they want to do. And I thought the part that was funny to me was their head coach. Let me see, Oregon State basketball head coach. I really like his look. He's got like the jet white hair. Oh my God. And his name's Wayne Tinkle. I didn't know that.
I love that.
So they kept saying on the broadcast, and it kept killing me, that he took this job coming over from Montana, I believe. Yes. He was the head coach at Montana, and they kept talking about how Montana is it's a one-team conference. Like, you're only going to get one team from that conference. So the key is to be playing your best basketball late. And it's like, yeah, that's every basketball team's goal.
Show me the team that isn't going to at least say they want
I think
to do
that's
that.
every coach's goal coming into the season, is to be playing your best basketball at the end of the season. So that was just making me laugh internally because, I mean, come on.
A nice start to the year, I guess, would be good, too.
And you know what? Again, I would check out Wayne Tinkle's look. Be careful when you Google that. But he's got the all-white hair, and he's tall. He was given kind of like Phil Jackson vibes, but he's got like a better tan going. Oh, there's one picture of him so sweaty. Oh, no.
Oh.
My God. Get that on the screen, BBD. Holy smokes. Just when I was saying, I mean, he looked so good on the sideline last night. I think he was wearing the dark shirt, and he's got like a good skin complexion with the white hair. It was a really good vibe. We just stumbled on a picture of Wayne Tinkle. I mean,
I'll have it up in a sec.
Not sweatiest coaches you've ever seen, because there's some guys that just like change but it's as bad as pit sweats as you can ever see.
Like, I know without double checking with you that I have the right picture.
Yes.
Here we go.
There was never a doubt that, I mean, that's, those are sweaty pits. That's tough, man.
I've been there.
Yeah. No, I get it. My pits have done pretty good. I guess I don't push myself athletically like I used to, but I used to get
I think in athletics, I'm not particularly sweaty, but just it's everyday
just doing
activity.
I used to get this perfect O sweat right here. That was my favorite. So good job, Wayne Tinkle and Oregon State. They're the classic 12 seed. I think a lot of people were on them because they ran the conference tournament and they were playing good ball. So, I mean, Loyola Chicago and Oregon State, one of those teams is going to go to the Elite Eight. And then at the bottom of that bracket, it's Syracuse and Houston. It's 11 seed Syracuse. I mean, this is one that, like, if you didn't pick Syracuse to win in the first round, you kind of don't get college basketball.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I always pick them to win their first round game anyway. Gun to my head, if I have a college basketball team, it is Syracuse.
ooh,
Little known fact.
wow.
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 But so I kind of always give them the first round pick, and I was pretty mad at myself when I had to kind of root against them yesterday.
Yeah. Well, dude, now I'm more mad about the Houston-Rutgers game. Because then that whole bracket should be a disaster. Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Come on, Rutgers.
I have Houston in my Elite Eight, so I'm fine with it. But
Okay.
if not for that Oklahoma State game, I think 6 of my Elite Eight teams would still be alive. It's like I was in a good spot. Losing your runner-up.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good, actually, but
It's not bad. I mean, this was going to be a messy bracket.
everyone
year.
loses someone.
I mean, the dark secret of brackets is like, so what? Have we lost 2 1 seeds or 1 1 seed? We've lost 1 1 seed. We've lost 1 2 seed, and that was in the first round. So, like, by the end of this bracket, we're probably going to have a 1, a 2, and a couple oddballs in the Final Four.
Yeah.
So it's just
Wherever they are.
to pick whichever ones that is. I mean, hey, kudos to you if your bracket had it and you believed in it. I know I would be flexing on here if I had a really great bracket right now. I don't. I still have Baylor as the champ. They've looked good so far. They've been like the only, I don't want to say dominant team, but kind of.
Yeah.
Like they crushed Hartford and then they beat Wisconsin by 13.
Well, something that I feel like we haven't discussed, I'm surprised hasn't
it.
come up.
Do it.
I had one year where I had like really good bracket.
Okay.
That I think about kind of a lot.
Okay.
And I was feeling that kind of vibe until the Oklahoma State loss. And then also just one day can ruin that
Sure.
feeling. But like one year is my freshman year of college. So it's like the most you're into college sports, I think.
Let's go.
I had like all 4 Elite Final Four teams and I think 6 of the 8 Elite 8. Maybe it might have even been 7. And I think I had like 12 of the 16, which is like as good as you can really do. And I had the finals matchup. It basically came down to if UNC beat Villanova. I was going to have one of like the 100 best brackets on ESPN, and then they lost. I was in like the 95th percentile.
Damn it, David.
So just add it to the list of me not liking
Proud of
Villanova.
you.
So
Proud of
6
you.
years ago or whatever,
Yeah.
I had a great bracket.
6
and you
years
guys-
ago,
I needed you
BBD
guys
had
to
a-
hear about it.
6 years ago, BBD had a fantastic bracket. What's going on the other side? Again, the other side of the bracket, the West and the East, we've got the full slate today. It was kind of funny. I mean, again, at this point of college basketball, I'm a huge UConn fan. UConn played 7 p.m. Saturday. That is when the Savannah Banana game started.
The exact time you couldn't catch any of it.
So I knew I wasn't going to be watching it. I guess I'm happy I didn't. I think Maryland was in control for most of that game. Alabama and Iona, that was another very popular matchup in this office. I think Iona was only down 1 at the half. We were starting to get pretty excited.
And I think it was a decent like pull away at the end by Alabama.
So
I think with 5 minutes to go, it was still maybe a 6-point game. Making up numbers, but
Sure.
there's something like that.
Counts. Iona was around.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what matters. Alabama, Maryland, they're playing that tonight. That should be a good game. Basketball school versus better basketball team, but football school. 11 seed UCLA. I guess they're making a run. They were in the play-in game against Michigan State, a game they almost lost. So I'm starting to like that a little bit. That's a classic NCAA tournament story, like almost lost in the play-in round to Michigan State. Now they're rolling, kind of like that. They're going against Abilene Christian.
The higher seed.
Yeah, right. It's funny how the bracket plays out, man. I mean, your road changes so easily. And Abilene Christian, they're there because they beat Texas 53-52. Texas, I was so ready to get back on the Shaka Smart bandwagon. I was excited. He's got the hair now. Texas, the Texas is back memes were rolling. And they get beat by Abilene Christian, and it's, that was the one that kind of really hurt my bracket. Not that you guys fully care.
I think everyone got kind of burned by that one. I feel like most people, especially like in this region, I think people had Texas going.
Texas felt sexy. I think a lot of people. Well, Michigan is the 1 seed, but they had that guy get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Interested to see how their LSU game plays out. I could see them winning that pretty easily, and Michigan fever kind of picking up. Colorado, Florida State. Those feel like very unsexy 5 and 4 seeds. I guess Florida State's a sexy program at this point. They get a lot of. They get NBA dudes.
But at least one person in our office pool has Florida State winning.
Wow, love that. Love a deep cut. Kind of funny. We did the brackets, and One of my friend's significant others picked Syracuse to win it all, and we were giggling, and now they've been as dominant of a team so far, reigning threes. So Abilene Christian versus UCLA. I mean, that's going to be another double-digit seed in the Sweet 16. Interested to see how that plays out.
I think I'm stumbling into 3 seeds never do anything.
Ooh, I like that theory.
So remind me of that next year. And I don't know what the history says there, but
no, I like that.
I'm just sticking with that. 3 seeds don't do anything, and I'm like never picking one again.
Let's get research and development on that because I like that theory. Speaking of, how about we ran into a little chalk in the bottom of the West bracket? Oregon and Iowa. Well, Oregon moved on because of COVID stuff. VCU, which
No
again,
contest.
like, didn't we have teams waiting and stuff?
Yeah, I don't know what the rules were because it was like once the tournament started,
right? It was game on.
But then it's like, all right, well then, make sure everyone was tested.
So that's going to be interesting. So Oregon plays their first game tonight, advancing to the round of 32 against Iowa.
It's in 2 hours.
That's rest versus rust. Interested to see how Oregon comes out and looks. Yeah, that's a noon 12:10. And then USC Kansas. How about that? I was all on USC. I said those Midwest schools were gonna. Whoever won that game was gonna beat up on them. That was a sloppy game. Wichita State and Drake. That was the opening night. That was a mess. USC Kansas a 3 seed BBD.
Yeah, this was the one I called the 3 seed not going far. I have USC winning. I have this matchup.
And then another huge upset that in normal years I think would have got more pub. Ohio beating Virginia. Again, I thought this bracket laid out pretty well for Virginia, and they flunked the dunk in the first round. So it's going to be Creighton versus Ohio. Creighton beat the UCSB Gauchos by 1 point. So Creighton or Ohio is going to be a Sweet 16 team. And then Zags, Oklahoma, 240. That was one of my bigger upsets coming in. I've got Oklahoma, so I'll be trying to boomer sooner. And I kind of wanted the Oklahoma theme because Oral Roberts is Tulsa. Cade, if he kept going, and then if the Sooners could pull off the upset tonight. So now I'm almost rooting against that. I'm almost against my own bracket.
Apart.
Yeah. Now I want Oral Roberts to be the clear best team from Oklahoma.
Make it
you other teams ruined it for me. Pokes and Sooners. And the Zags. So, I don't know. It's going to be, man, the tournament is great. I mean, I was doing a lot of the Savannah Banana stuff, obviously bouncing around, but, we were got dinner and it's on there and all that. And then when I got back last night, put on the Cade Cunningham game, and Villanova was winding down. Villanova, man.
Yeah, I felt like right when I got into like a good groove of watching games. Like that first day, yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't get into it Saturday. And last night I started getting into it, and then the next started, and I was like, all right.
Well, they messed up the formula. It's supposed to be Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to get overly consumed. I mean, I'm assuming today is going to be a big day for a lot of people. Like, it should be in the background of our office and stuff. And it's a Monday, so people hate working. So, I don't know. Let's see how today's slate pans out. We'll get the 16. I mean, the fact that... I mean, this could get super messy, man. If we lose another 1 seed... I mean, 13 Ohio is out there. UCLA's 11. Abilene Christian's 14. Maryland's a 10. Like, UCLA or Abilene Christian, one of them is moving on. And then, I mean...
Just get one other one, and all of a sudden...
Dude, Maryland, Ohio, or Oklahoma beating Gonzaga, you're going to get one of those. It's March Madness. Like, so...
It'd be pretty... Yeah, it's pretty unlikely that you don't get one of those.
And now, I think there's something else that I need to go into with the people, because I mentioned this earlier and I kind of had my guard up against it. Are we all in on Loyola Chicago? Has it hit that point where it's like, if we're going to be doing this, like, let's do it, Sister Jean, become a basketball program? I know it's the This is like the become the next Uber in tech Silicon Valley, but become the next Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I'm in. Why not?
That's just weird school that is all of a sudden a powerhouse.
Their coach, man, Porter Moser. That name just freaks me out for some reason.
Double ers.
I think it's the O and then it ends in an er. And he kind of looks like a Porter Moser.
Both names are O-er.
Like that name shouldn't fit someone, and it fits him, which kind of freaks me out.
What he looks like.
Porter Moser.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Something about his like cheekbones.
The cheek to the it's like all.
It's
like
right.
In shape, old guy. I don't know. I'm happy for her. And you know what, BBD? This might be a perfect example of if you're a young buck out there, and maybe you're not sure about your look or your vibe, just put a little hair gel in. Just go for it. Don't fight it. I fought it for years. I was Jakey all natural.
As did I.
Now look, BBD. Your hair's
That's
iconic.
stupid.
People talk about your hair on the internet. I've seen it.
It's happened.
There's some early pics of Jake like with his like first hair flip, and it's like it's a makeover.
Yeah.
It's an instant makeover, and there's a picture of Porter. I don't know if you just googled Porter Moser. His picture all the way to the right is just hair down.
Is it the one with him
Nothing.
shouting?
He's like taking off his jacket.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Like, look at that guy compared to just any of the hair gel pics.
Yeah, trimmed up the sides a little.
Hair gel Porter Moser is a 7. Hair down Porter Moser's like a 4.
And that feels a little generous. He's scary.
I'm just saying, if you're out there and you're not in the hair game, you just gotta find yours. And that little effort helps, man. I'm telling you.
It doesn't take as long as you think.
No. I mean, even my bad hair flip, when it's not working, I mean, that's quick and it's not great, but just the effort of it adds something.
Like, people ask me pretty often how long my hair routine takes. A minute.
I like that. So we've got
Not
hair
to brag,
routine.
It's a minute.
Singular minute. So, wherever you are, enjoy the basketball today. We'll see where things settle. I think, so after today, let's try to get the schedule for the people. I mean, I know this is kind of what we do towards the end of the show.
It looks like
Saturday?
yeah, not till the weekend.
Really?
The first date I'm seeing is 3/27 of like the next round of games.
So
Which would be Saturday.
So we're going to do Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, huh? Okay, so I see what they did. So they did, Saturday is going to be a full slate. They're going to go from 2:40 to midnight, college basketball. Saturday and Sunday, they're going to get both days. I get that. It makes sense. Monday, Tuesday, it's the Elite Eight, so there's only 2 games. So it's probably going to be a 7 o'clock and a 10 o'clock. So they're going to get Monday, Tuesday night, and they'll get the full weekend days. I get it. They're trying to collect that bag. And then what's going to be the weekend? So Saturday's
the 27th, Sunday's the 28th.
Saturday, April 3rd. So that's when Trev's in town. That'll be the Final Four. Maybe we'll do something with that. That'd be fun. Okay, interested. And then it'll still be Monday Night Championship. So that's what we got to look forward to. Enjoy it, man. It's still cool. It's exciting. Are there any other storylines?
I think we got all the big ones.
I guess, John was doing it a little facetiously, okay, so here's the other thing with the NCAA tournament. I said this with Oregon State. Like, you can go either way with things. Oregon State could have lost their first game, and we would have been like, yep, they just had a hot conference tourney. Oregon State continues to roll, and we're like, all right, they're fire right now. This is cool. Good coaches is kind of a story, and that sounds dumb, but Boeheim, the 11 seed, Villanova, Jay Wright, I mean, he's done it a lot. Who else was standing out to me? Houston, not really. What's his name? I forget. Calvin Sampson. Mm-hmm. Okay, so no, I'm kind of out on the good coaches. I guess so what would need to happen? Kansas needs to keep going. Gonzaga needs to keep going. Michigan. I mean, now I'm just saying the good teams. I guess UCLA has Mick Cronin, who was at Cincinnati forever. And Syracuse keeps rolling. Porter Moser. We're Porter Moser pod now. Mm-hmm. So that's the college hoops. It's college hoops. Are there like stats? Is there another standout player or anything that people are screaming about?
Probably. I'm sure there's the people that are more in the weeds on it.
I feel like that's after today's game is when the hype starts.
It's like, oh, this guy.
He's averaging 28 points per game, blah, blah, blah. Right now, I mean, it's the Oral Roberts guys. O'Banner and Abness. They're the stars. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah. That Houston comeback was cool.
Like, could change their basketball careers forever. It has. We're talking about them. Like Charles Barkley. Kenny the Jet Smith. Have you been watching any of them at all? Because they
not for this.
They added Andy Katz, who's like the college basketball guy,
for their college coverage.
And he just like doesn't fit in. It's not great. There's a lot of miscommunication. They're like, Andy, tell him who you picked in this game. And he's like, I picked the favorite. And they're like, oh, we thought you had the upset. And then everyone just pauses for a second, and it's like, okay.
All right.
Is this good content? That's the tournament. Let's watch a little bit together today. We're going to be doing some stuff. We got talking Yanks in a little bit. We got a couple other things we're trying to do. But we'll catch some tourney. BBD, what else is going on in the football? I mean, I saw that Kenny Galladay signed with the Giants.
That is the big one.
Which is big news normally, but also big news at John Boy Media. Talking Giants, they were kind of all over this from the start. Mm-hmm. I think we got a couple shirts out there. Bobby was all over that. And, they're excited because I think Kenny Galladay is one of the best deep threats in football right now. Daniel Jones, statistically, is a very good thrower of the deep ball. And, that can change the whole dynamic of the offense.
He finally has a guy that he doesn't have to be perfect. Like, Kenny Galladay can go make a play. Unfortunately, like, there's people that'll downplay it because he's had some injury stuff, and he was in Detroit this whole time up until now,
right.
Which is like the one place he could be where people don't know that he's good.
It's true.
So that stinks, but it's good, and it helps everybody. It lets Darius Slayton not get the top corner coverage. Right. It lets Shepard go to the slot.
Yeah, you hope it has that football trickle effect where everybody gets better because of it. In theory, Daniel Jones should be better. The other wide receivers should be more open. That should open up the running game more for Saquon. So
everybody helps everybody.
Really interested to see their draft now because I know the guys were really high on them drafting a wide receiver.
Now you don't have to.
You don't have to. If someone's there.
If it's the guy that is your guy.
Then that's where things start getting excited.
The one that's
Kyle
not yours.
Pitts, the tight end.
There's a few places you can go. They're meeting with Adoree Jackson, I think, right now / today.
Heard some
so
of
if that works out. If it doesn't, then they probably find the best corner and do that and he doesn't have to be. And even if they do get him, you can still draft a corner and have him not have like a starter's responsibility the second he walks in.
Right.
Like corners take a little bit to develop at the NFL level.
They're going to be interesting to watch. I know we have a little bias here, but, next year is the year for Daniel Jones. What do you got? It's kind of the year.
He has weapons. We finally find out if he's good enough.
It's
Which
the
I
year
think he's good enough
for Joe Judge, the head coach, his second full season, right? So yeah, I mean, I know Bobby yells about this a lot, but you'd like to see another O-line move, kinda, because that's the other excuse. That's what my Broncos had this year. The Broncos, they drafted a bunch of weapons, wide receivers, running back depth. They had Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay. But the one thing was still kind of the O-line and Drew Lock, and Drew Lock wasn't good, and I think the O-line wasn't great, so that's kind of what you point to, and now Broncos are kind of in Drew Lock purgatory. We'll see. Happy for them. Happy for the Giants, guys. If you're a Giants fan, I think we got a pretty cool Kenny Golladay shirt made. Kenny Golladay-themed shirt made. Not Kenny Golladay.
No, not at all.
It's a different guy. I don't know. Did any other NFL stuff happen?
I was trying to scroll through the tracker, make sure there wasn't like a major move I'm missing, and I don't immediately see one. Juju went back to the Steelers.
Right.
Took like a 1-year kind of prove-it deal.
Deshaun Jackson signed with the Rams. People were excited about that. I don't know what.
It's a bigger name than what it is, I think, but
not sure
in the
what
right role, he's still good. Still fast.
Deshaun's still got in the tank. Should I click on this Bill
don't like him as a
Barnwell
person.
head-scratching free agency signings? Aguilar to New England, sure. Jonnu Smith to New England. Okay. Shots fired. Kenyon Drake to the Raiders. I missed that one.
Yeah, and they've got
Josh Jacobs, yeah. Kenyon Drake, man.
Apparently they're like close.
He used to crack me up on my fantasy team. He'd get like 20 carries, 35 yards, and a touchdown. I was like, okay. That's good.
And numbers pretty fine.
And then the backup, Chase Edmond, would be like 5 carries, 85 yards. Like, I'd probably use that guy. He's kind of killing it. Okay, Kenyon Drake to the Jared Davis to the Giants. Not sure about that. Ronald Darby, my guy. Leonard Williams. All right, I'm over
Giants doing stuff, which is cool for us and the company and me personally.
I think you put yourself in a position where, draft season is nuts for football, and you get your takes and guys who slip and guys guys you don't know. That the Giants are now in position to have a really strong offseason. You got a one. What do you do in the draft? Is it bolster the O-line?
They have options.
Yeah, you can go a lot of ways with it now. Do you bolster the O-line? Do you trade down, get more picks for more bodies? Do you move up to get something else you really like? Like, you've got a lot of ways you can go with it.
You can do the one. Spoiler alert for the Talking Giants episode, which you should check out. I think Bobby mentioned Micah Parsons is like a good option.
Ooh.
And he can start off inside, and then I think because like Blake Martinez has 2 more years, and when he's gone, you have 3 more years of Parsons, and he can reach his ceiling moving outside when Blake Martinez is gone. All that, so you can get creative with some stuff.
Okay,
I don't know. So that's kind of the one name on my list, but I've done no research yet.
Yeah.
By the time we get there, I'll have opinions on what the Giants should do. But
go check them out.
Positionally, it's open, which is exciting.
Talking Giants they're really excited. They've been on this for a while. So if you're a Giants fan, go tune in to them.
Excited to have playoff expectations.
Yeah. You are until you aren't.
Yeah.
Is what they say in sports. Thank you, Yogi. Let's see. I'm seeing if there's any other sports headline. The Nets are currently the title favorite in Vegas because Bronny got hurt. So it seems like bad money to me because LeBron will be healthy when the playoffs get here. It's an ankle thing.
AD will be back by then,
fine.
Presumably.
LaMelo, broken wrist. That sucks.
It sounds like his season's over.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. It's a bummer.
Who's going to get Rookie of the Year?
I mean, it could still be him. I haven't done a full think about it.
NBA Rookie of the Year odds. Like, is it Halliburton and
Halliburton?
Does Quickly have an argument?
I think he'll get some down ballot votes, but
been there.
I would guess he can't.
Anthony Edwards.
Edwards is
the favorite
right now.
And then it's
He has
Ball.
the highlight plays, the efficiency.
And then it's Ball, Halliburton, quickly.
Yeah.
Wiseman,
Looking
Sadiq
at
Bey.
DraftKings promo code JohnBoy for that.
Ooh. Wow, I'm on DraftKings odds. Okay, so that works out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Manuel
guess Quickly's got.
quickly. Terrific long shot, they're saying.
Did Wiseman miss time or something? I thought he was early, pretty favored.
I don't know. He might have missed a little time.
Yeah. I guess if Edwards doesn't have any flare-ups and just does what he's been doing, he probably gets it just based on that. I forget if somebody said it in our group chat or just I saw a tweet. It was like LaMelo Ball's already played double the games Zion's played, and he got first team all rookie last year.
So
I think
there's still a world.
LaMelo still can very easily get it.
There's still a world.
It wouldn't be a shock.
Okay, so that's a little NBA catch-up.
Halliburton's kind of the darling of the NBA right now.
Paige Buchers, UConn women. She's going nuts. She's awesome.
Huge.
Go UConn women.
And there's all the women's tournament stuff this weekend. Don't know how much you were able to track all that being away.
I mean, I've got, again, UConn, Connecticut, UConn. So she
Probably more keyed in than most.
School record for a tournament debut, 24 points for Paige. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, pretty disconnected.
Yeah. Well, I just mean like the controversy stuff with the phrasing. The inequitable the
gym
different equipment,
thing.
the gym stuff, accommodations.
BBD, I mean the further that
Surprise, NCAA messed something up.
NCAA as an organization, the further we go as a company, me and Jim, the rest of us now as a family and all of that, the further we climb and go as a company, you just realize, like, people aren't, like, special or anything. Like, there's a few out there, the creative types, and I'm sure if I had a conversation with Elon Musk that, I'd be pretty outmatched. But, man, there's just people that get it and people that don't. And there's a lot that don't. And the NCAA has proved to be one of them for years now.
In a lot of ways.
I mean, just a punchline. Like, how can you walk away when you're setting it up saying, like, oh, this will be the guys' workout facility, and, well, this will be the women's. It's like, what are you doing? So, enough about that. Not happy with that. BBD, let's keep it moving. Sports world is going. Hockey, they're playing, sure. Let's go to the comment of the day.
Yeah.
Bakers, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. Keep subscribing. What are we at on the channel? We had to clear 1.5, right?
Gotta be close.
YouTube, Wake and Jake in the morning.
It's telling me 1.5.
Let's go. All right, we cleared the 1.5 hurdle. We're going to 2K. Bakers, I ask you guys to leave a comment. Bake the algorithm. I know you're watching. Facebook, podcast, YouTube. The YouTube's going to the moon.
Wherever you're watching, drop a like or something.
Thank you. Yeah, whatever button is close. Remember Facebook had the coins thing, and we were like, I don't know what that is, but I wanted. Don't do that maybe, but do it.
If you feel comfortable trying it.
Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a sports comment. So it would give us a little topic of conversation. BBD, we got a couple good comments last week, and I just clicked away from the page. The first one is from a John Boy Media super fan, Feo, Astif Feo. With all the stars and draft picks gone, the remaining players on the Rockets have to feel like when you grab a Neapolitan ice cream out of the fridge and someone has ate two of the flavors completely out of the container and just left the third untouched. A heavy metaphor, and I love it. Did Houston end their losing streak yet?
I don't think so.
We'll get research on that. And I just love the comparison. I mean, I think if you've lived with family or friends or whoever, and if you've ever had a Neapolitan ice cream, that least favorite flavor ends up there. In my house, it was growing up, it was chocolate.
That's where we would. That's what it would be for me.
So the vanilla and strawberry would just be gone. And you'd see those would be in tiers too. I think the strawberry was slightly more of a treat, so that would deplenish? Is that a word?
It would be gone a little sooner.
Not replenish. Deplenish? Deplete? The strawberry ice cream would be gone quicker than the vanilla, and then you just have a column
Rockets
of
have
chocolate.
lost 20 in a row.
20 in a row for the Rockets.
They were
Golly.
11 and 10. They're now 11 and 30.
And I think someone commented, and I don't have this, but they said the Rockets' top 4 pick this year is protected. So I think as long as they're horrible, I think.
I'll double check.
Yeah,
that.
go check that
Because the NBA broadcasts I've been listening to have said, or podcasts, they have said they have no incentive to lose.
So Austin Brown, who's a common, he left this comment on the last show. The Rockets pick is 1 through 4 protected, but the Miami one is unprotected. So I'm going to need their records to switch since OKC gets the best 2 out of those 2 and their own pick. So I don't know how I'm reading that now.
Rockets would not.
Houston might be protected if they're a top 4 pick this year, which golly do they need.
Okay, Rockets pick.
Okay. Remember, we're with an NBA source right now, so.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure it out. There's some swap stuff, and they have their toes in a lot of picks.
Oh my God. So we'll see what goes on in this, and then another comment, David, was Tobias Harris is an elite player, and no, I'm not biased. Why do you ask? Seriously though, when people talk about him, I always have to double take and wonder why I'm being talked about. That comment was left by Tobias Altman.
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
Tobias
Harris is good.
A little Tobias bias, if you will.
He's Tobiased.
Tobias.
Clyde last night, he fell into this line that he went to a lot. It was like, Tobias Harris wants to be an all-star because he was like kind of the first cut from the East. And he just kept saying that. And like down the stretch, he's like, yeah, and Tobias says he wants to be an all-star. This is his chance. It's like, all-star? Like, you don't get retroactively named. Yeah. Just Clyde old guy stuff. I love it.
I love Clyde. Remember when that one reporter was trying to be like, I don't get why people like Clyde? Because it's pure entertainment.
It's like the same thing as the Sterling.
Yeah,
stuff.
It really is.
It pushes all the same buttons for me.
It really is. So guys and gals, thank you for your comments. We appreciate it. Keep baking, man. 2K is next. 2K is next. And that brings us to the bro of the night. The bro of the night often goes to someone who had an impactful night. Sometimes it's the best performance. Sometimes it's an impact performance. I'm going to give a little nepotism love to Buddy Boeheim. Jim Boeheim's son, the famous Syracuse coach, BBD's college basketball team, low-key. My sister went to Syracuse. Grew up in a UConn house, and these UConn-Syracuse rivalry games were pretty good. The 6 overtime game? Calhoun Boeheim, just for years. Jim Boeheim, when I was a youth growing up in my house, he was called the Whiner. So that's pretty good. Syracuse had a down year this year. Boeheim's had some weird stuff in his life happen the past couple years. Do you remember when he hit the guy on the highway or whatever? Yeah. He had the quote about the kid at Duke this year, and he was like, oh, Duke's so much better without that kid. And everyone was like,
are you
dude, you kind of can't say that, and why? Like, why would you say that?
What was the benefit of that?
And then it half kind of turned out he was right. Like, Duke started playing better, but they still sucked. Anyways, Syracuse, the 11 seed, they're on the bubble of the tournament. His son, Buddy Boeheim, he's a bucket getter, man. The kid shoots kind of whenever he wants. He's got range. And here's my thing. If you're at Syracuse, and Syracuse is an elite college basketball program. They have been. You know of Syracuse college basketball. And when they're not having as good of a year, and one of the guys who's getting a lot of shots on their team is the coach's son, that's kind of not a great look for Syracuse. You know, you're kind of saying, hey, Boeheim, why didn't we recruit XYZ instead of your son? But, man, they dominated their first game of the NCAA tournament. Dominated. They were making it rain. Let me look up one thing. And then they beat West Virginia, Huggy Bear versus Boeheim. I think Boeheim has like an incredible record against Bob Huggins, which, you know, tie that into your coaching theory however you want. Buddy Boeheim is the team's leading scorer, 18 points per game. You know, he shoots three-pointers at a 40% clip, free throws at an 87% clip. He's 6'6" junior this year. And, man, like, just flat out good for him. Dude, he had 30 against San Diego State, 25 against West Virginia. He's one of the stories of the tournament. Boeheim's son. It's averaging 27.5 per game. 2 wins for an 11 seed. So, hey, nepotism is it's a big part of life in our society. You know, you got to lean in sometimes, and sometimes you got to lean out. Good for Buddy Boeheim, man. Getting buckets. I mean, that last name in college basketball circles is going to be remembered like always. So, good for him, man.
Gotta feel good to get a little validation. It's like, okay,
big time.
I am good.
Big time, man. I mean, yeah. If
I remember when he was
team,
like a freshman and like kind of he's at like the end of the rotation. It's like, yeah, I mean, he's a D1 player. He shouldn't be at Syracuse,
right? No, I mean, he leads the team in points per game as a junior. That's now, I mean, they're in the Sweet 16. So, next year is kind of lining up to be a lot of fun. Like, he's going to have full go-get-it privilege. But, yeah, good for Buddy, and I'm sure Jim Boeheim has a lot of good quotes on it, but it's got to be pretty cool watching your son get buckets at the program you built going to the Sweet 16. So, shout out to the Boeheim boys. Mostly Buddy today.
Yeah,
Jim's got enough.
Buddy.
BBD, what's yours? It's looking like it could be a bruh.
Yeah, I'm giving out a bruh to Leon Wood.
Leon.
He was one of the officials in the Knicks-Sixers game last night. I don't know if he's the one that made the worst call, but end of the game, Julius Randle gets just the softest call in the world called on him.
Sure.
And I'm not one to like call out like soft calls. I was like, all right, I usually go with the, well, I mean, the book's a foul. I get it. It's like, look, I could point you that call on every play. And, you know, I don't even know if it was Leon Wood that called that one, but then the Knicks had the whole thing. They challenged, but the refs didn't hear them challenge, and so they lose a timeout kind of for nothing, don't get to advance the ball, have to take the last second shot, all that. Heartbreaking overtime loss to the Sixers. If not for NCAA weekend, would have been game of the night.
Ooh.
But
yeah.
But also, like, they only had 2 refs. One of them is Leon Wood. Was the 10th overall pick by the Sixers in 1984. So he's been a ref for like 30 years. So like, I don't actually think he's biased. But like, come on, how are we just letting this happen?
How is that the one?
Feels like we shouldn't be letting him ref Sixer games.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
With all the ref rigging scandals in the last 15 years.
You see those? Yeah, man. Okay, BBD, a lot of heartstrings attached to that one. The Knicks.
Yeah. Basically, just needed to get the Knicks out there.
And that's fine. You got to get that off your chest.
That shot Randall hit at the end of regulation. Don't know if you've seen it yet.
Mm-mm.
I'll show it to you after this, I guess. But
okay,
it was a crazy 3 to tie it. It was awesome. Step back in the corner.
I'm excited to see that. Yeah, man. Couple busy weekends. Key West, Savannah. Hopefully chilling
this
this
weekend's not a big one. And then we're in the season.
Yeah, man. Then we're live. I mean, we're a week and a half from being live all day. Next Thursday, opening day. Is there any baseball news? No, right?
Like prospects getting sent down and stuff. It's like,
yeah.
Service time manipulation.
Ohtani's still looking good. Service
he got
time
to
manipulation.
He got to bat leadoff and be the
Right.
starting pitcher yesterday, so that was fun.
Pretty cool.
Doing a quick thing. Salvador Perez got extended.
Yeah, that Salvi Perez extension. How about it?
Yeah,
4
getting
for
the-
82.
The age 32 to 36 seasons for a catcher. Cool. Take care of your guy.
I mean, they love him, and he's been there, and this is how baseball contracts should work, but they don't. So,
And especially coming from like the Royals, who kind of never pay anybody.
well, and that's the thing, and Jom's been big on this kick, but Kansas City seems like they're very much into doing a product for the home fans, keeping Salvador Perez. And
They were
brought Mike
recently
Minor.
sold, right? So it's a pretty new ownership group.
Could be. I'd
So
have
just
to look
changing
into that.
organizational mentality. I think last year. I want to say it was sometime last offseason.
Hey, man, if that team gets a little bit of momentum this year, just a little bit of momentum.
They tell us the morning of opening day if playoffs are expanded.
Yeah.
We got some young, interesting arms. If enough of those work out, the lineup is full
The
of major
lineup's
leaguers.
Nice, man. That lineup's nice. Okay, so a little Royals hit at the end. How about that? PBD, let's
Joe Adele sent down. Bobby Witt sent down.
Bobby Witt, he might don't
At
be
some point
surprised
this
if he
year
gets
could
the call.
impact.
Yeah. We might have a
He
new
hasn't played above whatever level, so it's kind of not manipulation, but
They need to change that next CBA. I had a good chat with Kyle about that. And if they just did it at age,
yeah.
like then teams would abuse these young players and make them play. Like if everyone became a free agent at age 28, like Bobby Witt would be starting this year for the Royals, I believe.
Yeah. Or he'd at least be getting a real good look.
Just a weird
For that
thing.
team, he would.
Just
yeah.
a weird thing to look at. Whatever sport you're into,
Whatever
I think
it's
the
gotta
older
be.
you get, the more you get into the CBA stuff. I'm a big Rosillo guy. I've always heard him say that with the NBA because it changes how the
way you,
league
like,
and game is
look at
played.
stuff. Like the roster construction, think about when you start to understand the CBA, you understand like how the teams think a little bit.
Like if you just hit free agency at 28, think about how many players' careers that would change.
Probably the easiest adjustment is like make the service time clock start when you get added to the 40-man.
Something like that.
It feels like the easiest way to keep it, not a drastic change.
We'll see. BBD, what we're watching tonight, I mean, today is a full slate of basketball. See if we can, I was going to say highlight the good ones, but I mean, it's the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Like
It's a full slate today. Let's see if there's
12 to midnight?
I think it sounds like there's like a 12 o'clock game, a 2 o'clock game, and then we start getting
A little
bunch.
break?
Or maybe it's closer to 3, whatever it is.
Okay.
I think they're backloaded a little bit because people work. But
Stop
there's
working,
games
people.
throughout the day.
Oregon, Iowa, Oklahoma, Gonzaga, Abilene Christian, UCLA, Ohio, Creighton, LSU, Michigan, Colorado, Florida State, Maryland, Alabama, and USC, Kansas. Who doggy?
Nets Blazers late night Tuesday.
Nets Blazers, talking Nets.
Like Griffin's made his debut yesterday.
He made the debut?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. I know he got a dunk at least, and he played some
Huge.
decent defense.
Huge. Love it.
He's in all the right spots.
All right, Bakers. I
Nets
love you
Jazz
guys.
The next night late.
You're the best.
Big Nets.
Basketball season, or a week of spring training left, and then we're going to be really close to baseball season. That's going to be a lot of fun. Enjoy the hoops today. Thank you guys. Bake the algorithm. Leave a good sports comment. I love you. Have a good week. Check out everything on John Boy Media Network. Chris Rose Rotation. New Watchin' is out. Talking Giants. We talked about them. Talking Nets. Talking Knicks tomorrow, I think, coming out. We'll
We're
see.
recording tonight.
Sequence. Talking folk. Talking Yanks. Pinstripe. Strong was in here. Talking baseball tomorrow. All of it. All of it, guys. John Boy Media. We love you.
Probably a new compound soon, too.
Compound. Mansplain. Everything. Share it.